Good evening. If you're just seeing my face for the first time, my name is Asabik Joe. I film content based on family, lifestyle, living in the UK. Whoa, let me just go straight to the point because a girl is tired. As you can see from my eyes, I am very weak. I am tired. So, guys, I just wanted to just ah God, you see this God we are serving. You see this God we are serving. So, guys, for those that did not see what I'm about to say, you must have already seen the title of this video. I already had other videos I wanted to post before this video, but I said this video just has to come first. If you have not seen what I post, if you're not even following me on Instagram, you need to follow me on Instagram because that's where I post my as they happen updates. I had a surgery 2 days ago. It's so amazing that just look at the face of somebody that had a surgery. I had an emergency surgery and God showed up for me. So I'm just here to give all the glory to God. I need to tell you guys how this happened because on Instagram I didn't explain how it happened. Sorry. Yeah. So on Instagram I didn't explain how it happened. I just gave a little summary of why I had to go in for surgery. It was an emergency. When I mean emergency, so let me just tell you guys how this thing happened. Just when I finished talking, just to help me kneel down and start thanking God for my life. It would have been worse. It would have been a different story. So on Monday, on Monday evening, I had already finished bulk cooking as usual. I had already gone to market, bought stuffs. I had already finished cooking. So I wanted to sleep. That was around 10 o'clock. I wanted to sleep. So I laid down on the bed. My husband held my stomach and, dragged me closer to him. And that was when it started. I started feeling, now sometimes I used to have ulcer pains, but I've not had this ulcer pain in like a year now. Since I got into the UK, I've not had that ulcer pain. So he held me and dragged me close, and I started feeling stomach pain at my upper part of the upper part of my stomach. So I told my husband that my stomach is paining me, doctor now. That she had been cooking since morning, that I did not eat. That he has been telling me since that when I'm cooking, I should at least put something in my stomach, I should at least be eating something, but I did not hear. So that's how we stood up, and we came up to the kitchen he made bread for me to eat. I still could not eat the bread. So he told me that he doesn't have my time this evening, that I should take paracetamol, that he needs to rest, and because since I'm already acting, he will need to take the children to school the next day and he needs to be up early. So I took the paracetamol and we went down to sleep. When I laid down to sleep, I couldn't sleep. The pain was just there and it was very painful. I was saying to myself, this is not like ulcer pain because it started migrating. I started having migratory pain. It would go from the upper part of my stomach to my lower abdominal part to the lower abdominal part of my stomach, and it was just going like that. So I felt like going to the toilet. I went to the toilet. It was a very loose stool. When I wanted to stand up from the toilet, I couldn't stand. I shall manage to get myself to bed the first time around 1:30 to 2. I felt pressure again to go to the toilet. I went to the toilet. The last thing I could remember was standing up from that toilet. When I woke up, I don't know how long I stayed on the floor there, but I was lying down on the floor of the toilet. So I crawled back to bed. All this while I did not wake my husband. So the pain was just going and coming. It will come, hold me for a while, then relieve me. That's how we did. So my husband woke up in the morning. He usually wake up very early. Went and prepared the children for school, fed them and took them to school. And I woke up when he had already gone out. The pain was excruciating. I have even labor pain was not like this. I've never felt this pain before. So I called my husband. I was like, this pain is unbearable. My husband said, that since he has known me, that he knows that I have a very, very high threshold of pain. Even my mom used to tell me in Igbo, here, something like that. Like, I bear pain a lot. So that was when he knew that this was serious. And so he told me I should call the ambulance, that he's on his way, that he just dropped Nesto, that he's on his way. I called the ambulance and they told me that I'm still breathing and I'm still responding. So they'll have to take 6 hours to get to me. I said, I called my husband back. I was crying. I said, I cannot though. So he called the ambulance by himself. And, ouch. He called the ambulance by himself and they said it was going to take 3 hours to come. So I told him I can't wait for 3 hours. We now had to order Uber. So we ordered Uber to the GP. We got to the GP and they said my case is an emergency case and they don't handle emergency in the clinic there. So the doctor himself had to call the ambulance by himself. So the ambulance came in, I think 30 to 45 minutes. I can't tell because I was in a lot of pain. The doctor said my pain was 10/10. If I can, I'll put the doctor's report. And the ambulance came. The woman that was driving the ambulance, I've already put her case to God. It's God that will handle her. Long story short, we got to the hospital and I was rushed to the emergency ward. So at the emergency ward, they tried looking for my vein, to set line for me and give me pain medication because I was in so much pain. I was screaming. So they started checking all my body for veins. You could see, I don't know if you can see from there, my hands, they pierced me more than 10 places, everywhere. They pierced me where they were looking for veins. She couldn't see anyone. Oh, my hands, see. She couldn't see anyone. Anyone she sees, she said there's no blood, like blood was not coming out from there. So they had to rush me to resuscitation. So they rushed me to resuscitation ward. There was one doctor there, one Yoruba doctor. So he said I should just calm down. Then he was able to find one here, then flushed it and now gave me morphine from there. So they gave me about 4 shots of that morphine. So the pain started subsiding. So the next thing was, let them find out what was causing the pain in my stomach. And so they did the first scan. They said there was fluid in my stomach, but they didn't know what it was. But I had a lot of fluid in my stomach. And they could see some growth, some abnormal growth in my stomach. So they booked me for a CT scan. While editing this video, I'm going to be putting up some of the pictures that they took me in the hospital. So they booked me for CT scan, and I went in for CT scan. During the scan, after the scan, they said they saw blood. What they were able to see was blood. The fluid was blood, and I had a growth in my stomach. It was sitting on my uterus, close to my left ovaries. But they had to do me another scan to know in particular what that was. At first, they were thinking it was maybe ovarian, um, ectopic pregnancy, ruptured ectopic pregnancy. So I did pregnancy tests, both the blood and the urine test. It came out negative, and so they booked me for the next scan. And I'm sorry I'm talking slowly like this. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. So they booked me for the the third scan. I've forgotten the name of that one. So that was where that one is a pictorial scan. You see the pictures, you can be able to measure anything you are seeing and all that. And so while doing the scan, they saw they also certified that it was actually blood in my stomach, and I had a cyst. I had an ovarian cyst that ruptured and was bleeding into my stomach. I was like, what is this? What is this cyst? I've never felt anything before, no pain, no, I've never felt that I actually had a cyst in my stomach. And the funny part was that when they measured this cyst, it was as big as a tangerine. That was what I saw when the measurement, I saw the pictures, everything is still in my folder. And so the next thing she told me, if the cyst was as small as a pea, they would have given me drugs to shrink it. But this one was big, as I don't even have a tangerine. I would have showed you guys what we were actually working with. It was big like that. So the thing was, either I want to leave it to resolve on its own, which was going to take months or years, and she doesn't know the outcome, but the best thing I should do is a surgery to take it out. I was losing a lot of blood, so they had to first give me 1 pint of blood to at least stabilize my blood to in a good level. After giving me 1 pint of blood, my blood did not still rise, so they said they were going to watch me till the next night to see if they were going to give me another pint of blood till the next morning. Sorry. So she started telling me the risks of the surgery in the morning and why I should do the surgery. I'll feel better, I'll go back to work earlier and all that, and I'll be out of danger. So that morning when my blood result came out, my blood was still low. So she said it has to be surgery. They started giving me the 2 pint of blood that morning. Big Joe had already gone to take the children to school. So I told the doctor she has to wait, let my husband come, because I don't understand. I don't understand what you're talking about. Because when she said they will have to take out my left ovaries, I said, Kine, hey, like, it's not only me that have my body, you just wait. Let the person that pay my buy price come first. The doctor was happy. She said, okay, she'll wait, let my husband come so that she can explain to him the what's actually going on. So my husband eventually came. They explained. My husband was like, no wahala. Maybe I have 2 ovaries. If they take out one, nothing spoil. He encouraged me. I said, okay. I've never had surgery before. I've never had any reason to surgical anything. Even with childbirth, and even when I was younger, when I even had appendix something, it still did not lead to surgery. So I said, God. I started praying. Hey, I started praying. There was one nurse with me, one Nigerian nurse, Pascaline, that's her name. God bless her. So she started praying with me. She started telling me of how God intervened in one of her patient's situation, one cancer issue, how the woman didn't have to go through the whole chemotherapy and everything again, that it was going to be my portion. We were praying. I started singing this song, I've still got joy in chaos, I've got peace that makes no sense. She was singing with me, like we were just playing it on repeat, like I was just praying. 4, 5. What was actually in my mind was my daughter's birthday. My daughter has already made so many plans for her birthday, and I was just thinking how I was going to disappoint this little girl. And I said, God, just take over. I was thinking about her cake, you know. I think that one is story for another day, because the devil was working overtime. This my daughter's cake issue was even things that was not even supposed to cause an issue with cake was causing issue. You know, when things start happening and you're looking at yourself and you're like, devil, you're trying me. I just know it's you, the devil. Like I was making plans for the cake, and every plan I make, like any small thing like this, like things that will normally not cause an issue, even with my friend, you know, was causing issue. And I just know this was the devil at work. But the thing was that I just felt peace with everything, like with everything that was going on. I wouldn't lie, I was a bit scared. I was anxious, like I didn't know what was going to be the outcome, but I trusted God. I just left it to God. I said, "Whoa, I'm not the one that created myself. I just came and made myself like this." Like I just left it to God. My husband prayed with me and left, and they were going to wheel me in for the surgery. So I started crying. I started thinking of so many things, you know, my kids, my husband, so many things. I started thinking. I just prayed and I cleaned my eyes. The nurse with me was just reassuring me that I'm in safe hands, that the surgeons are the best, and I'm going to be fine and all that. So I got in for the surgery. I met so many people. There were about 2 surgeons, 1 consultant gynecologist, 2 anesthetics, anestheticians, I've written they call them. All of them were there. They were just reassuring me, you know, everything was going to go fine. So they were going to give me oxygen. She said they had 2 risks for the surgery. The risk was my blood was going to go low. So they brought 2 pints of blood extra, and then oxygen. They brought extra 1 tank of oxygen. So she told me they were going to pass a pipe through my mouth to my lungs for air, and they were still going to give me oxygen through my nose, like, you know, just in case. But I was not going to feel it because it's when I'm already asleep they'll do all these things. I said okay. So, you know, I just closed my eyes when there was something they put on my face. I closed my eyes. I was still singing, and that was the last I could remember. So before the surgery, the doctor told me if I wake up and I see myself surrounded by nurses, that means I'm in the ICU, and the surgery was complicated. But if I wake up and I see myself back at the ward, that means the surgery went well. So after the surgery, I was still unconscious, but you know, I was trying to open my eyes. So I opened my eyes a little, and I saw 5 nurses by this side, 5 nurses by this side. They were wearing white scrubs, white nurses on white scrub. Then at my feet, I saw one black nurse and one other doctor, an Indian doctor. So the Indian doctor was explaining, so they were just talking to themselves, but these other nurses by this side, they were just looking at me, you know, they were looking down at me. Hey, I said, God. I just closed my eyes back. I'm like, God, I'm ICU. That's why this surgery was complicated. God. I just felt bad, and you know, I was still unconscious, so I went back. I just slept back. So when I finally opened my eyes, I saw the doctor, and I asked her, did the surgery go well? She said yes, it was successful. But I'm under anesthesia, so she can't tell me the outcome of the surgery because I might not understand what happened. I said okay. So they said they were going to wheel me back to the gynae ward. I go back to the gynae ward, and the nurses, you know, taking care of me, they said I was okay and everything. Anybody asked her about the surgery, they said I should wait when my husband comes. So, childcare issues in the UK. My husband was looking for someone that was going to stay with the kids while he comes to the hospital, to see me after the surgery, but it was not possible because the person that was supposed to come, she finally didn't come. She was running very late, and she didn't come, so there was nobody to stay with the kids. He couldn't come that evening till the next day. So that next day, Kelo didn't go to school. So my husband too was running late to the hospital. The doctor was like, she has other ward rounds to go to, that she can't wait for him. So let her just tell me the outcome of the surgery. I said, okay. She now came and sat down close to me and was like, the surgery went well, and that they opened me in 3 places, here, here, and here. They opened me here to pass a camera to my stomach so that they can be able to see what they are doing. Then they opened me here first. They said when they opened the first me through my just here to try and remove the cyst in my uterus, they couldn't see it. I was like, I don't understand. She said, surprisingly, the cyst was nowhere to be found. This was how she said it. I said, eh? She said yes, that the cyst was nowhere to be found. That but they were able to mop up 700 mils of blood from my stomach. 700 mils of blood from my stomach. What's not remaining in my body? So, and she also said they were trying to find out where the blood was coming from. Surprisingly, that one too has closed up on its own. Just be shouting. Just be shouting, because this can only be God. When she finished telling me, I know she was just telling me like her too, she couldn't understand it. The surgeons couldn't understand it. And it's only God that can do it. It's only God that can do something like this. It's only Him that can, bring out a situation that everybody will be shocked. When God wants to take glory in your life, nothing can stop it. No, absolutely nothing. When she was just talking to me, I was just looking at myself. I'm like, God, you love me this much. You love me this much. When she finished saying it, she now said, you will have to explain to your husband. I started telling myself again, how do I explain this to people? Like, how do I explain? I used to hear these things maybe in NSPPD, or, koinonia, or, church services. But how do I explain this as my own story to people that they will understand? When my husband came, I was explaining to him, he was just smiling. I used to tell myself that I call myself Wachinemelu. This is a child that God works wonders for. And I was shocked. I was shocked beyond words. I just started thanking God. Like, it could have been worse. We had already signed that if he gets to removing my ovaries, remove it, and all my organs are intact. All my organs are working fine. Nothing was missing, nothing was broken, nothing was removed. It can only be God. You can't tell me any other thing. It can only be God. And I'm just here to say this out to the whole world. And I'm here to tell you guys that if you have not rooted yourself, if you have not soaked yourself in God, you don't know what you're doing to yourself. you don't know what you're doing to your life. If you have not had a one-on-one relation, if you're not having a one-on-one relationship with God, it could just be, me myself, I used to take it as something, small, something flimsy. I used to tell people that in this my life, I report everything to God. Like, I talk to God. I just feel that, oh, God is close to me. He's my friend. He's here. I tell God, as small as anything, you offend me, because I'm a kind of person that I don't keep things in mind. That's my problem. Oh. If you do me something like this, I'm going to come and tell you my mind. And once I've said my mind, it has gone be that. So before I even come and talk to you, I'll first talk to God. This person, I'll tell you, God, this person has vexed me. See what this person did. I will rant. God should know me as his favorite ranter. I report my children to God. Anything like, I've had this, I talk to God, like, we relate. And I didn't know that it has gotten this deep. Like, I didn't know that God, I know things has happened. There are other things I'm going to come and say, like, later on, and on this channel, that you guys will understand. Even before this, I was away from YouTube for a while. I've never even told you guys about, things that have happened in the course of my life. But I'm just coming to say that I don't want to make this video long. I'm just coming to say you guys should help me thank God. You guys should help me thank God for disgracing the devil and for always showing up in my life. I'm coming with more testimonies. So you guys should just hold this one. Use this one and go and rebuild your faith with God. Are you trusting God for something? Are you waiting on God to do something for you in your life? He has never failed. He might be late to you, but he will never fail. And his timing is always perfect. God's timing, I'm not even saying is always perfect. If you feel that God is late, God is just wanting to do something that when he does it, you self will know that this can only be God. Guys, I'm coming back with my testimony. Please, guys, help me share this video to everybody you feel that needs to hear this. They must hear of the goodness of God in my life. Thank you, guys. I'm already feeling sore. I'm already feeling, this is just 2 days post-surgery, and you can just imagine the pain. But I'm gonna be back. The devil tried and failed, and I am coming back in full. I'm coming back in full. You guys should wait for me. I'm sorry I've not posted videos. I'm sorry I'm not consistent. It's not intentional now. I beg. How did they used to do it? I beg. Forgive me. Thank you guys for watching up until this time. I'm so grateful. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh.
You're an amazing child. I have not written anything yet. I'll write it later. Even though this door is open, I will sneak out, go to them.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was looking for get person card. No. You know they do get person for UK.